Welcome to Bob Cargill's Marketing Show, a ridiculously awesome podcast bursting with insightful commentaries and intriguing conversations on the topics and issues that are on the minds of marketers, advertisers, social media, and PR professionals today.
Hey everybody, this is Bob Cargill of Bob Cargill's Marketing Show. I'm coming to you from out of office in Hudson. This is a ridiculously awesome co-working space. I come here from time to time to get some work done and to talk to people like my guest today. My guest today is Lysa Miller. Lysa is partner and co-founder of 3 Media Web. Lysa and I met, I'd say 6 months or so ago, and of course, yes, we met on social media. That's where I meet half or more than half of my friends nowadays, because I live online, and Lysa practically lives online too, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, we're here at the out-of-office co-working space in Hudson. Lysa works and lives in Hudson, and where she works is at 3 Media Web. We're both in marketing, and I'm going to say thank you, Lysa, for being here today. I appreciate you being on my podcast, and for the sake of our audience, just if you don't mind, a little bit of background about the one and only Lysa Miller.
Well, I would like to thank the ridiculously awesome guy, Bob Cargill, for having me here today. So thank you, Bob.
You are most welcome.
And I'm excited to be here. So yeah, you and I met on LinkedIn, which I've met most of my good friends and cohorts on social media, including my business partner, Mark Avila. We met on Twitter. And your last guest, Caitlin Zwieka, I also met her on Twitter, believe it or not. And
Love
she
that.
ended up coming to work for me for a couple of years at my agency.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so anyways, I'd like to say that I'm an adult, lifelong entrepreneur. Even though I'm a marketer, I think I'm really an entrepreneur at heart. I first, started my career in the agency business, went to work for CBS, and when corporate America didn't want to help me with my family, I decided to go out on my own, and I created my company, Ladybugs Interactive. That was about 20 years ago. So I did that for a while, raised my family, and then about 5 or 6 years ago, I really started growing my agency, Ladybugs Interactive Agency, and we became a pretty big player in the social media scene in Boston. And about 3.5 years ago, I merged with 3 Media Web to become a partner there. So at that company, we offer full-service web design and development, support and hosting, along with digital growth for B2B, medium-sized, and enterprise-level clients. So that's basically my life in a nutshell.
That is a lot in a nutshell, because
20 years in a nutshell.
Yes, and in the 6 months I've known you, so I see how active you are, how busy you are. You're a great networker. A lot of it is online. I know on LinkedIn you even describe yourself, I think, as a people connector. Mm-hmm. And I admire you for that, Lysa, because you, again, practice what you preach. I mean, since I met you, I've met friends of yours, and I'm becoming friends of theirs, and we're doing a little bit of collaboration. So you absolutely get people together, and I'm sure not only does that benefit them, but I'm hoping it comes back to you in some way.
Absolutely. So part of my relationship building and networking is not part of it. I mean, it's a huge part of my business development strategy at 3 Media Web. So even though, I'm not out there knocking on doors trying to sell, I'm still creating new business by creating all these relationships with people, which from the longer term, yes, it takes a lot more time. But from a quality standpoint, most of these people eventually, the referrals and leads that they give you will be like a 95% close rate, as opposed to just being out there, on social media trying to get clients or trying to get clients through email. The best way to get truly good leads and leads that are going to close is by, building relationships with people. And how do you build relationships with people? You basically help them first. And, I kind of call it like the business of being nice. So just do everything you can for other people to help them. And that just kind of comes back. So it's kind of feel good, too, because I just feel like I help people all the time.
You do. You do.
But
you're helping me by being a guest on my podcast, because you're a ridiculously awesome guest. I knew you would be. And Lysa, about the connecting, people. So what you're saying, or what I'm seeing, is maybe you use social media and technology as the top of the funnel, if you will, if we're using marketing terms. And in other words, you connect with them there, introduce yourself, and then you realize totally, and correct me if I'm wrong, that where the biggest impact is when you meet them in person, and then the tactic is to help them. And again, it's all genuine from the heart, because you're a genuinely nice person. I don't think people can fake this or act this out. I mean, it's who they are. So this is a process that just comes natural to you. If you could bottle that and sell that, I mean, and you said the business of being nice. There's your book title, I think.
I don't know. I mean, at the times I've definitely doubted myself and doubted my strategy, because I was looking at how other business development people develop their businesses, and I even came to somebody who's I highly, highly admire, the most wonderful Richard Banfield, who owns this space. And I was having
Hi, Richard.
and he's also the owner of Fresh Tilled Soil Agency, which, he's a very successful guy, and he's a true thought leader. So I came to Richard one day and I just said, you know what? I'm doubting myself, and this is how I'm doing business development, and am I doing it right? And I don't know. I don't know if I came to him for advice or what I was looking for, but I guess I was looking for him to tell me I was doing it wrong and to give me better advice. But he just looked at me and he said, you know what, Lysa, you're doing awesome, and just keep being you. And to me, that advice has sunk. That was probably maybe 4 or 5 months ago. Richard said that to me, and it just dug into me, and now I truly embrace that. And I feel like the people around me also truly embrace that. My coworkers, my business partner, even my life partner and my friends, I think just embrace, I am who I am. I'm not going to change, and I'm going to use that energy and put it to the best use I can. If you want me to sit down, pay your bills, organize your books, or something like that, don't call me, because I'm not good at that. So you really have to focus on what you're good at, and that's what I'm good at, and that's something that other people can't always do. So you have to use your unique gift. And so thank you to Richard for helping me realize that even more.
Richard, Lisa's saying thank you, and the reason I'm yelling, folks, is he's literally on the other side of the wall in his office, and he actually might be able to hear me. He had ducked his head in here before we were recording this podcast. You're a perfect example of something that I actually last night in a panel discussion, I was the moderator, and I mentioned to the audience, and that is Mark Schaefer's book called Marketing Rebellion, and he has this manifesto, and he says something like, the most human company wins. And again, you're, as a business person, you're the perfect example of that, because you are nothing if not, a quality human being.
Thank you.
But I think that comes naturally in the timing, I think, in marketing. And again, not that it's a strategy, but I think it actually should be for businesses, is to just be themselves. And that's what's happening in marketing today, because like you, I've been around a long time, probably a decade or two, even longer, and maybe a decade or two. Yeah, a decade or two, I think. But we're not comparing years of industry experience. But I'm around 35 years in the business. And what I'm trying to say is I've seen the evolution. It used to be, faking it and being contrived and artificial in marketing and advertising and business worked. But that doesn't work anymore. Now it's all about being yourself, being human, being genuine, being authentic. That's what people respect, and ultimately, if we're talking business, that's who they'll buy from. So I think you being you in this day and age, you got it made, Lysa.
Thank you. Well, it's not just about being authentic. It's also about being trustworthy. So one thing, in the field of the agency world is that, you're competing with a lot of agencies nowadays. Anybody can look like a multi-million-dollar agency online, or look like a successful development agency or marketing agency. Anybody can look like anything. So sometimes nowadays it's hard to tell the difference between, apples to apples, apples to oranges, apples to bananas. So, something else that's always been very important to me is to provide a lot of thought leadership too around how we're doing this, like how we're building relationships, how I'm doing business development. And so I think building trust also not just with your brand, but within the services that you provide is an important piece of it too. So if you're going to build these relationships, that's all great. But like if I don't have a good product in the end that people are going to refer, then that's not very good either. So part of the social media is really getting the message out there about your products, about your service. It's not necessarily selling them and then mixing that with your brand, that you're trustworthy, that you're authentic. But you still need to have a good product in the end, and you still need to be successful with your clients. So it's important to kind of merge those all together.
I totally agree with you, and I do social media, kind of all the same types of things that you do for a living. And what I tell clients about social media is there are a lot of businesses, brands, and people now, obviously, that do things well and maybe equally well. But where you can separate yourself from the competition, number one, is that being human, and number two, absolutely being trustworthy. That's your competitive advantage. A lot of people can deliver the goods, but can they deliver the goods and be nice about it and be someone people can trust?
And help you.
And help you, which I love, yes. So, folks, if you want someone to help you, reach out to Lysa Miller. And towards the end of this episode, we'll give everybody your contact information, Lysa. Tell us, I love social media, and we talked a little bit about social media before we turned on the microphone. How do you use social media for yourself, for 3 Media Web, for your clients? What's your secret sauce, if you will?
So I personally don't do the social media for our clients, so I can't really speak to that. And we're not a social media agency, so social media is not really a service that we offer to our clients. So we would bring in a partner like yourself to offer that service. We do kind of social media light related to SEO and content marketing.
Yes.
But we do social media for ourselves.
Yes.
So as business development person or the business development leader in our company, social media is a huge part of my job. I have a couple people in the company that help me with it, and the strategy on every channel is different. So, with Facebook, it's more about getting people connected with us, feeling like they live our life a little bit every day, mixing that up with a little bit of customer success and what we do. And, again, it's about people feeling like they're part of our company and they're part of our success and they want to work with us. So that's more of a brand strategy. Twitter, same kind of thing. You want to give out, different little tweets here and there about how things are going internally and getting to know your customers, getting to know your staff, and then, sharing all of your wins. That's really important because people want to see that you're successful. And then on LinkedIn, it's a little bit different. It's more about thought leadership. It's more about providing value to other leaders in the agency industry and feeling their pains, feeling their successes, and coming together as business leaders and sharing that is what I really enjoy on LinkedIn.
Lysa, I've seen your social media. Again, the first time I saw you, I think, was on LinkedIn, and everything I talk about, all the words I'd use to describe you as an individual in real life is reflected on your social media and on behalf of your business. I can see why you are so successful and why 3 Media Web is so successful. Let me ask about, I know you, besides business, you got a lot going on. I know you're involved in a lot of organizations locally, but the audience doesn't. So if you don't mind, tell everybody what else is on your plate if we have enough time to cover all those little details.
Sure. Well, my side hustle is obviously the Metro West Women's Network. People probably more know me from that than 3 Media Web. But I founded that organization about 3.5 years ago. I was part of the Boston Business Women's Organization, and I went to the founder of that and asked her if she would mind if I could start a similar group out here. Did they want to be a part of it? Because I didn't just want to go do it without her permission. And so she just really didn't have the bandwidth to do it or have me tag on to them. She's like, you just go ahead and do it. And she's been really great too. Christine Saporis Miller, now she just got married. She founded Boston Business Women, and she also founded Moroccan Magic. So, I've become friendly with her over the years, and she's been a huge inspiration for me also personally. just watching her journey, hearing about her past. But anyway, so she inspired me to start one out here because I felt like the Boston was so big, it was really hard to connect with people in this area. So I felt like the same kind of thing would be great here. So this wasn't like an original idea of mine. This was kind of like a pawn off hers, but with her permission. And so came the Metro West Women's Network. I grew the group a little bit to about 500 people in the group. And then I brought on a client at the time. Her name is Julia Becker-Collins, and she now is the COO for Vision Advertising. But she came in and really helped me grow and scale it and kind of turn it into a much larger Facebook group that, we were doing events and just really getting ourselves out there. So she came in as a co-founder and president, and so she helped me for about 2 years with that. And, in the last year, she's gone her separate way to run her own agency and just didn't have time to volunteer for this anymore. So I'm back to running it myself as president with a new board of people. And so we've kind of scaled it back a little bit. We do like a lot less on social media, and we more focus on events and trying to have a really great event every month. And when I say we don't focus on social media as much, I just mean like we don't post to every single channel every single day. We've kind of taken our energies and tried to focus on where we think the biggest bang for the buck is. And so that's the events, that's the group itself. So that's been super fun. And we've expanded so much that we're now located here out of office, which is, again, in Hudson. And so most of our events we're running out of this facility. So it's been awesome.
And you're also a board member of the Assabet Valley Chamber of Commerce?
I sit on a couple of boards. I sit on that board, the Hudson Business Association board. And those are small responsibilities, but, they're really great people.
Those are small responsibilities, she said.
Compared to everything else. I mean, these are volunteers, so obviously they don't expect too much from you. But really great leaders, really great leadership.
When you want something done, you ask a busy person, and that's Lysa. She gets things done.
I'm busier with my 4 chitlins, actually, and my 4 pets. So
that sounds like you got eight other living creatures at home.
Yeah. And then my significant other and his 2 chitlins, too. So
that's like 12 if I'm doing the math right. That's a big group if you were all under one roof or in the same room.
And then add on, going from roof to roof on a regular basis. So
to be Lysa Miller, that's what we are finding out today. You also have introduced me to, because you're helping me and you're helping me help others.
And you're helping me with the furniture bank, but
that's where I was going. The Fresh Start Furniture Bank is where I was going. Lysa has, I'll pat myself on the back because I'm flattered to be one of her dream team, that's her phrase, of social media people who are helping Fresh Start Furniture Bank. And I'll let Lysa tell us all about Fresh Start Furniture Bank.
Okay. Well, Fresh Start Furniture Bank is a nonprofit organization that provides home goods to people in need who are basically trying to start over. And I didn't really know much about them until I met Sue Wadby at a Metro West Women's event. And I really liked her. I thought she was really great. And so she came to a few events. And at the last event I saw her, she asked me if I would be able to help her get some Hudson businesses to be able to get a little bit more involved with Fresh Start Furniture Bank. So that was kind of a light conversation, but I called her on the next Wednesday and I said, hey, how about we do a Facebook Live video and we'll try to get some people to donate. And she said, oh, cool, that sounds fun. But little did she know, I called up every single business owner that I knew in Hudson, gathered them at out of office co-working space, and surprised her with a Facebook Live video where everybody actually physically came in and donated to them. So that was just kind of like a one thing I did to help her. And I never really intended for it to be the social media dream team, but it was so successful.
Yes.
They've seen over $60,000 in donations, and it's just been, I'm looking for the word, but just exponentially growing.
Yes.
The work, getting the word out.
Yeah, phenomenal.
So, because we got so much traction out of that, we decided to create the social media dream team, which includes Bob here, along with Jeff Gordon of Ideal Video Strategies, Liz Rock of Liz Rock Photography, and Joe Santa Maria of Kill the Ball Media. And so together we kind of came forward to each contribute whatever our special skill was, and then everybody sort of contributed to the overall projects. So we don't do it every day for them. What we do is we inject, our special flavor on top of what they do every day. So we're like, if you follow them, we've done some videos, we've done some branding and graphics, some messaging. So it's been a really, really fun ride. And so how long have we been doing that? Since December?
Few months, yeah.
And they never want us to leave, but we can't volunteer forever.
Well, maybe, because it's fun, and we can always add on to our team and tag team, so
Absolutely.
every once in a while one of us
maybe we expand the
takes a
dream
rest.
team.
Yeah.
We just tell everybody else what to do.
So if anybody's listening who lives in the Massachusetts area, especially the Hudson area, Metro West, you can join our dream team.
Yeah.
We have strict criteria. You just have to be willing to have some fun and work a little bit.
Absolutely.
In marketing.
Roll your sleeves up.
Yeah.
You can be strong, too, because we actually also need physical volunteers to carry the furniture.
Yes, that's the real hard work, the manual labor.
Yeah.
We're talking about doing social media and marketing, and here I am patting myself on the back with the people who lift the couches and chairs.
I went on the truck once. They regretted that because I could only carry pillows.
I wouldn't be much stronger than that, Lisa.
But they said I was fun.
No, it's so important, all that actual physical work. The donations are important.
Mm-hmm.
What's their website? We can give that out, Fresh Start Furniture Bank.
Bank.org.
There you go.
Yep. And definitely follow them on Facebook.
Yeah, and that you might see
posts.
Lisa and I and a few others doing Facebook Live. Facebook Live I talk about all the time and have used many times. I actually, at the NENMA conference a couple days ago on Wednesday, I did a Facebook Live demonstration, and I loved it, and I think it went really, really well. It is so powerful because when you go on live, it notifies your followers, and they know that you're on, and you can see who's on. You can talk to them. You can save it, and in the replay, people watch it.
Absolutely.
Has that been your experience with Facebook Live?
Yeah, so video in general I find is really great, and I know a lot of people say that, amateur video is authentic and blah, 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 but you really want to make sure that you do have a good message and that you keep it pretty concise. People don't want to sit there and watch like a 10-minute video on social media, so I can see on YouTube that's more of a strategy there, but you want to keep your videos short and choppy, and you want to make sure they add value to everybody's day, give people things that they can actually use. So I feel like there's a fine line there. Some people get on there and it's a little too much. So you just have to be careful about how you're talking to your audience and stuff like that.
I agree. The marketer in me says you test and learn and experiment, and you can see if you're doing well because if people are joining in and asking you questions, there's interest in it, and it's working. But if it's crickets and no one's watching the replay, you realize you're either not talking about something that's of interest to them, or it's at the wrong time of day, or you're talking for too long. So that is what I like about social media. You can experiment and learn pretty quickly and change course if you need to.
Absolutely.
So in the Lysa Miller world, at 3 Media Web, and in your personal life, if you don't mind me asking, what else is going on in Hudson? Because I know you're just what restaurants are opening up, what events are coming up. You know everything about this area.
One really cool thing that's going on right now in Hudson is, if people are familiar with the Armory, the town is actually looking at buying that space, and so they've been doing some surveys and different stuff like that, either as a performance venue or some kind of like market where there's all kinds of vendors in there, maybe small stores. I'm not really sure where they want to go with it. So if that does happen, that could really change the town of Hudson, because right now we have, the Main Street and some businesses there, but this would be more of a destination, like a Mill Number 5 or a performance venue, where there could be...
You mean like concerts and theater? That's
concerts
so cool.
and theater. So then you bring people here for that and for dinner, and it would just change the town in general to have that. I know Groton is getting Indian Hill. When Jay Giles died, he donated all that land to Indian Hill.
I don't know the story of
so now they're opening a big venue, outdoor venue, like similar to, what's the one in the Berkshires?
Tanglewood.
Similar to Tanglewood in Groton.
Did not know that.
Yeah, and it's the old Jay Giles land. So something like that can really change a community.
Kinds of things. I can tell you about Hudson because, I've never lived here, but I lived near here for many years.
Did you go to A1 Vacuum ever?
No.
That's what the micro creamery used to be. A1
Oh,
vacuum.
I know the micro creamery.
Yeah, it was A1 vacuum like 15, 20 years ago.
I did not know that. Can we talk about the secret bar that's...
No,
yeah.
shh.
Okay.
Can't talk
All I
about
said
it.
was secret bar. Can we say that there is one in
Yeah, no,
Hudson?
there absolutely is. It's called Less Than Greater Than.
I did
So,
not even know that's the name of it.
Yeah.
So there,
I
I
always
can
get it
say there
backwards,
is
but-
a secret bar that if you haven't been to in Hudson, you got to ask around and find it. I've been
Absolutely.
there. I can't
Yeah.
say anything else about it. Lisa's looking at me like,
It's really great.
shh.
You don't want to tell everybody about the good secret, you know?
I
You wanna
I
keep it a
agree.
Hudson
Well,
thing.
that we just teased it a little. That will pique curiosity. I remember, and I think I can say this, when Hudson wasn't what it is today, and you know, I love motorcycles. My son used to have a Harley, so this is not you know, a generalization, but it was mostly motorcycles and motorcycle type bars, and not the seemingly almost upscale, rejuvenated Hudson that it is today. The downtown has really modernized, and I liked it before. I'm saying, because I grew up in a small town. I like all that, you know, the motorcycle type bars.
Yeah, well,
not
there
that I've ever
the
been
bar
in them
lunch was
before.
here. They had
I
great
remember
plans.
and I told you I went to bar lunch a lot. That was another kind of. I went there. Was it you?
Yeah.
I asked. Where did that go? It disappeared.
No, you didn't ask me.
That was
but
a
yeah.
backdoor place.
I think it's part of Hudson Appliance now.
Yeah, yeah. So I like all that kind of honky tonk.
They had good clams. I used to bring my boys there when they were little and
Okay,
get them
yeah.
clams.
but where I'm going with this, I hope I'm articulating it well, is clearly is it's really grown, transformed, evolved, and it is a happening town now, a destination. Like Moody Street in Waltham.
Yeah, exactly.
Where young people come,
Yeah.
old people like me,
Yeah.
not that old, but
downtown Wellesley or
Yeah.
downtown Concord.
restaurants are here.
Restaurants, coffee shops,
Bars,
shopping,
is that beer?
bars.
The brewery place.
Yep. I think they're trying to keep like the bar scene kind of intact. Like they don't want to turn it into like people being out to 3 in the morning kind of town.
Right.
So they've been kind of careful about that, which is really good because you don't want to turn it into a party town either.
Right,
you know?
right. No, I think they're going in the right direction. Everything I see. Listen, I live in Sudbury. I love Sudbury. Be on the record saying that, but I wish we had a downtown like Hudson. I mean, that's why my wife and I are coming here more often. Where is there to go in Sudbury? Not too many places. There's 29 rustic Mediterranean, and then there's you know, good. There's Lavenders and plenty of good restaurants, but we don't have a downtown.
Right,
You just
you
get
can't
out of your
walk
car,
around.
walk,
Yeah.
go get an ice cream. Maybe a beer, maybe a pizza.
Or all the above in the same night.
Above TC Lando's,
Yeah,
another place I love.
Yeah.
Giving them all
Yeah,
plugs.
Maya's great. Yeah, they're all great. Yeah, Ground Effect Brewing.
Rail Trail.
But what people don't know about Hudson is it's become kind of a secret mecca also for the agency scene.
I've heard.
One
I
of the
only know.
only towns where a lot of agencies are sort of coming to. So now with out of office co-working space, that even brings more people.
Yes.
So one of the biggest agencies in all central Massachusetts is in Hudson. It's called Turtle Transit. And they do unexpected advertising. They built that Turtle Mobile that was in the it was in the commercial for the Super Bowl. They built that. A couple years ago, they built this whole museum for the Patriots, like during the playoffs. I think it was for the Patriots. Yeah, it was. It was during the playoffs for that. So they're here. 3 Media Web is here now. You know, we're a digital agency for media.
Most importantly, 3 Media Web is here.
Fresh Tilled Soil, which
Yes.
is Richard's agency. He moved out
Fresh
here.
Tilled Soil, yep.
He's sort of in the same market space as
Yep.
us, but provides different services.
Cargill Creative.
Cargill
you're forgetting.
Creative's now here. There's another company called Drone Genuity. He's a nationwide drone photography company. He's here. And so having all these different agencies and creatives here is amazing because it helps every single agency sort of expand their services. So now if I have a big manufacturer that needs a UI project, I know Richard. Or if I need somebody who, you know, they need a drone project, I can call Dan. So, you know, and we're all significantly big companies.
This
like,
is
we're not,
the new economy. This is the gig economy.
Yeah, we're not like all like 3-person companies. Like we all have multiple
there's
employees.
small, medium,
Yeah.
large-sized companies.
Yeah.
But the co-working that Richard had the vision to build this place or create this place, that's what is bringing people physically
Even
together.
more. Yeah, even more. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
co-working is a huge trend wherever you go now. I mean, I was just telling my son this morning, it's all individual or people like yourself who work at other businesses, but they like to go co-work with others in complementary fields because they can collaborate, they can brainstorm, they can get out of the office.
Yeah.
So there's a lot happening.
It's really great.
That's the bottom line is Hudson is really rejuvenated and a destination for business people, for
entrepreneurs
people.
too. All these new businesses, these are all startups, people starting them up. A lot of Babson entrepreneurs out here.
Who?
Babson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Babson, great school, business school. Tell me what is next on your plate, Lisa. What's hot and cooking on the marketing front for Lysa Miller and 3 Media Web? Throw in your curveball. We didn't rehearse that question.
No. So what is new in the marketing scene? So basically, I'm doing a lot of partner marketing. So basically collaborating with either partners, software partners, agency partners, media partners, and doing a lot more collaborative promotions.
Yep.
So aligning ourselves with these other awesome agency, related businesses and partners. So and helping them and using the power of each other's audiences to grow each other. So that's the strategy I'm working on right now.
And you have, I'm sure, are nailing it. I mean, you're a natural at what you do. You mentioned, I'm going to, again, put you on the spot. You mentioned a podcast maybe is in your future.
Oh, you weren't supposed to mention that.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I'm
Sorry about that.
I am planning to do a podcast, but it's probably more going to be geared around women's issues and business than, agency related. So.
Do you know how much you are involved in and how much you know and how much people look up to you? Do you know that?
No, I don't, but thank you.
It's true, okay?
Can I get a massage now?
No. I do draw the line somewhere. And on that note, here's what I can do for you. Please tell people how they can reach you if they want to get to know the lady boss, Lysa Miller from Hudson. How can they contact you if they want to?
So the best way to connect with me is on LinkedIn, and you can find me there. I'm Lysa Miller, but you spell my name with a Y, Lysa. Or you can find me on Twitter at LysaPreneur. And our company 3 Media website is 3mediaweb.com.
That is awesome, Lysa.
Or you can find me at Medusa having a beer.
Medusa, yes. You know I have not had a beer in there. I have taken their beer out. Because when I come into Hudson to go out, I'm usually with my wife, and she doesn't drink beer, and they only serve beer. Now, I know it's quality beer. So
they might let you bring a glass of wine in there.
Is
you
it?
never know.
You think? Oh,
I don't know. You might be
sounds
able
like
to
you might
one
know
in there.
from experience. So Medusa, that's another just random plug we're throwing out there.
Yeah, no, they're awesome.
Another reason to come to Hudson.
Yep.
That's Lysa Miller, folks. 3 Media Web in Hudson. We are at Out of Office in Hudson, ridiculously awesome co-working space. I am Bob Cargill. This is Bob Cargill's Marketing Show, and I thank all of you for listening, and I will be back at it again soon. Take it easy. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.